Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. And today we're going to talk about the pickup boxes that were just released in Duel Links. So we've got two pickup boxes coming out along with one structure deck. We'll go over each of the cards and see what's going on. Structure deck's pretty easy, let's do that first. Raidacross the Lionhearted. So, this is a rush deck, and it only costs 500 gems, which is pretty nice, seeing as it's going to give you 30 cards instead of 20. We have Raidacross, Hero of the Dawn, Yuga's new boss monster. This is a level 7 light warrior monster with 2100 attack points and 1500 defense points. The requirement is that you shuffle 2 spellcaster monsters from your graveyard into your deck, and the effect is that you special summon up to 2 level 5 or lower spellcaster type monsters from your hand to the field. Now, because we can normal summon infinite number of times, this is only a benefit if you special summon exactly level 5s, because you can normal summon as many level 4s as you want. So, what sorts of level 5 spellcasters does the deck have for us? We have Hilt, the Bearer of Noble Arms. Special summon it has 1300 attack points and 500 defense points, not very strong, but every turn you can give one attack position warrior monster on your field 600 attack points until the end of the turn. That's a really good effect. It doesn't have to be Raidacross, of course. You will see Raidacross go up to 2700 attack points with this effect, which is good enough, really. You'll probably enjoy using this card quite a bit. Then we have Seath, the Scabbard of Noble Arms. This monster has 1700 attack points, much better. Requirement is to place 4 warrior and or spellcaster monsters from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck in any order. And the effect is that you special summon 1 level 7 warrior monster to your field. So, Seath will actually bring Raidacross out, and then Raidacross will bring Seath out. So either way, you are able to easily summon multiple high-level monsters and avoid tributing them. It's a pretty nice effect, and the skill also lets you draw Rightful Magic whenever you have this effect. Rightful Magic allows you to target 1 monster on your opponent's field, and it loses 600 attack until the end of the turn as long as you have 2 monsters with the same attribute on your field. So this is like a completely different version of the deck than what Yuga was playing before. You're not really going to play Seven's Robe Magician in this deck because you don't need to. You don't really want, because all of your cards are shuffling cards from your graveyard back into your deck, and they're also all light monsters, so you don't really want to play Seven's Robe Magician in this deck, but is the Raidacross deck by itself good enough? I think with the skill it probably is. We also have Plaster Scout, which is a continuous effect. It's probably, I think, one of the first continuous effects we got. During your opponent's main phase, you take no effect damage from your opponent. So you literally just are immune to effect damage. If we start to see the burn deck from Explosion Drive see play, Plaster Scouters are counter to that. So it might be worth picking up the deck just in case you need to deal with effect damage to get the Plaster Scouts. Well, it depends on how much you care about Rush, but it's a nice investment, and the good news is you get 3 copies of this card just from 1 copy of the box. The last new card is Magic Juggler, level 4 Light Magician with 1500 attack points. Fantastic. As far as whether I think this is worth it, I do think it's worth 500 gems. I don't necessarily think that it's worth anything else. Maybe pick up 1 copy of this deck and see if you like it. If you do, wait for it to go on sale. Alright. That is the Rush out of the way. Now let's talk about these pickup boxes. So for starters, we have Pickup Box Abyss Actors Theater. Obviously, there's only 30 packs in this box, so you can get through it with just 1,500 gems. That's really nice. So you can get through the entire box for just 3 copies of every card in the box for just 4,500 gems, which is a very good deal, and they're all reprints, but they are all good cards. We have Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. This card is very good if you want to play Pendulums, and it also lets you ignore monster effects during your opponent's turn, during your battle phase, which does include Neos, Kluger, and Yubel. So nice little option there if you want to try and deal with your opponent's monsters during the battle phase. Metal Foes are kind of a weird deck. They are a pendulum-focused deck that focuses on destroying their scales and setting new scales from the deck, and then they can fusion summon with your opponent's monsters using Alakest. And they also have like a relinquished style effect. Mithrilium it lets you target 2 Metal Foes cards in your graveyard and then 1 card on the field, shuffle all of them into the deck. Shuffle the graveyard cards into the deck, return the card on the field to the hand. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon one Metal Foes Pendulum monster from your graveyard or face up from your extra deck, and that includes if it's sent to the graveyard for a fusion summon. So it's a Pendulum fusion deck that focuses on kind of bouncing cards and messing with people, and they have Metal Foes Ori Calc, which gives all of your Metal Foes double piercing damage, which is pretty funny. So yeah, I don't think that Metal Foes is a bad deck. I think it's really, really hard to play. But if you want to build Metal Foes is a pretty expensive deck. It's in the Trains box. So I have all the Metal Foes because I built Trains, but if you didn't pick those cards up already, this is not a bad time to get them, but it's not the biggest draw of this box, I would say. We also have Abyss Actors. We have Abyss Actors Superstar. We have Wild Hope, Curtain Raiser, Mellow Madonna, Sassy Rookie, Leading Lady, basically every card in that you need except extras. Is that good? Curtain Raiser being in this box is nice, because Curtain Raiser was in the Speedrun box, so it was kind of off on its own. Are you able to build this deck without extras, is the question. And the answer is probably no. This does set you up for a very strong opener into Abyss Actors. You do need probably 2 copies of Abyss Actor extras to make Abyss Actors worth it. But considering that Abyss Actors are largely a deck that comes from Silvio's level up rewards, it's not a bad investment, and the cards are really good. The problem with Abyss Actors really is that they don't have a dedicated skill. So do I think this box makes Abyss Actors appealing? Yes. I really like Abyss Actors, and Abyss Actors have a lot of interesting effects. They have the spell card Rise of the Abyss King, which lets you destroy face-up cards on the field up to the number of attack position Abyss Actor monsters with different names you control, and if you control a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor monster, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. And Superstar can set this card directly from your deck once per turn. So you are able to blow up your opponent's entire field. And there are a lot of level 4, excuse me, there are a lot of level 4 monsters in the deck, which means that if you don't use Mellow Madonna's effect, you can set yourself up for some good rank 4 plays on turn 1 with a Pendulum Summon. If Abyss Actors get a skill that lets them set their scales, they will be a very good deck. And I think that's part of the reason why Konami hasn't given them a skill yet. But for right now, Abyss Actors are a safe rogue option, and they are a very tantalizing part of this box. But PKs are definitely the reason to come in here. So, we have Phantom Knights. Phantom Knights we get Levier the Sea Dragon as part of the Phantom Knight box, which is really nice. We get Ancient Cloak, Break Sword, Silent Boots, Stained Greaves, Fragile Armor, basically every Phantom Knight card you need. The only cards that are missing from this box are Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, which is in a structure deck, so you can get it where the structure deck anyway, and Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. If you didn't get Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, then yeah, the deck's probably not worth building. But if you have Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon and you don't have Phantom Knights, now is the time to get them. This deck is ridiculously expensive. You need 3 copies of Ancient Cloak. You need 3 copies of Ancient Cloak. Do you need 3 copies of Superstar? No. Do you need 3 copies of Gold Driver? It's ideal, but it's not necessary. And you definitely don't need 3 copies of Mithrilium. If you are coming into this box, it is for Phantom Knights. And Phantom Knights are a very, very good deck. I highly recommend that you play Phantom Knights. I have already made 2 videos on Phantom Knights, which are coming onto my channel later this week. So I recommend that you watch those videos. I recommend that you see this deck and that you pick up this deck because it's a lot of fun and it's extremely powerful. And it's not that expensive to go and buy the Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. It's an ultra rare in a main box, but you only need 1 copy of it. And after that, you're golden. I promise you this deck is a lot of fun. Okay, that is it for the Actors Theater box. If you don't have Phantom Knights, definitely recommend it. If you do have Phantom Knights, it's mid. It does have Rescue Rabbit for some reason. Rescue Rabbit is a very good card that has not seen any play in Duel Links yet for some reason. If you are a fan of Mech Lords, you probably know about the Dino Rabbit deck. So Rescue Rabbit is only going to get better, I would say. It's hard to use Rescue Rabbit in a 3-card field. I will admit that. But it's also very likely that we're going to get Tri-Brigades at some point. And Tri-Brigades with Rescue Rabbit is extremely good because Tri-Brigades are basically the only deck that can search Rescue Rabbit. So this card has a lot of potential, and it could get very good very soon. And I apparently have 2 of these without. I must have gotten them from a selection box. There's also Rescue Hamster. Rescue Hamster is basically only used in Metal Foes, but it's really funny in Metal Foes. Well, technically, we do have Abyss Actor skills. They're just not great. That is true, but I'm talking about a skill that sets scales specifically. That's what we're talking about. With Pendulum decks, if there's not interaction with the scales, it's not worth it. Okay. The next box is the Ruler's Abyss box. This box has triple Ds in it. We have Triple D Doom King Armageddon, Triple D Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, Double D Savant Newton, Double D Savant Kepler, Double D Orthros, Dark Contract with the Swamp King, Double D Savant Thomas, Double D Lilith, Triple D Super Sight King Zero Maxwell, and cards you don't care about. Is this good for Triple Ds? Yes. Yes! I cannot stress how long it took me to finish Triple Ds because Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok is in a main box that had no other DD cards in it. The fact that this card is being reprinted in this tiny box and you can get 3 copies of it by paying 4,500 gems, you know how much this cost me? This is ridiculous. If you want to play Triple D, go into this box and get your 3 Ragnaroks. Don't even care. And Triple D is an expensive deck because Doom King Armageddon is a card that you need 3 of. Despite it not being like a very good card, you need 3 of it for the skill. So the deck is artificially expensive because of the skill, and because of that, you are definitely going to want to go into this box. Get 3 copies of Doom King Armageddon, get 3 copies of Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok, get 3 copies of Savant Kepler, and you're going to be happy. Highly recommend because of Triple D. I do think Triple D will continue to get better as the game goes on. It's already basically a rogue deck, and any deck that can spam rank 8s is going to be good, except Blue Eyes. For Fright Furs, we have Sabretooth, we have Fright Fur Fusion. Again, these cards, I believe, yeah, these cards are both in a main box. So these are really hard to get. Like, this card was in a mini box. Superstar was in a mini box. These cards were in a main box. That was annoying. So the fact that these cards are in this mini box, I'm probably going to go into this one just so I can get Fright for Fusion. I need, like, 1 copy of it. We also have Edgem Chain, Fluffle Dog, which is the main searcher of the deck. Fright for Daredevil, Fright for Wolf, Fluffle Wings, which is draw 2, insanely good. Fluffle Sheep, Fluffle Octopus, and Fright for Factory, and Fright for Fusion Waltz. Is that good for Fright Furs? Yes. This is not everything that you need to play Fright Furs, but it is a very, very strong start. The fact that you can pick up 2 really hard to get ultra rares in a box is really nice. You're probably only going to need 1 copy of Fright for Sabretooth. Sabretooth is a really good card because it lets you special summon a fusion monster from your graveyard, but it requires a fusion monster to go into, so it's probably not a card that you want to run 2 of in an 8-card extra deck. I could be wrong, but I really feel like this is probably just a 1 of. But Fright for Fusion is a card that just keeps on giving. It's basically Miracle Fusion, but for Fright Furs. And when you have cards that require you to fusion summon with fusion monsters, you need Miracle Fusion. So I feel like Fright for Fusion is going to be between a 1 of and a 3 of based on the meta. And this is definitely, like, getting this card, getting it at 3 for just 1,500 gems is going to really benefit you playing Fright Furs. And I don't think that the box that Triple D and Fright Furs came in was that good. That main box was really unforgettable. So I really recommend that you guys dive into this box if you want to play Fright Furs, and especially if you like DDD. And I do think that DDD, like I said, is just going to get it better with time. Lastly, we have Burning Abyss. We have Dante, Beatrice, Virgil, Seer, Fiendish Rindo Warrior, Farfa, Livik, Rubik, Alich, and Barbar. Okay. Burning Abyss is a bad deck. I'm sorry. It's just bad. It's interesting that they're releasing Burning Abyss and PKs like next to each other so that you could get like the full PK Fire list for just 9,000 gems. That's kind of interesting if you want to build PK Fire. I don't recommend it. I played Burning Abyss. I played against Burning Abyss. The deck is bad. It's not good. Stop trying to make it happen. It's bad. I understand that you have the ability to make Farfa permanent with the skill. That's definitely cute. If you like to play Sarah, it's Sarah's best deck. It's bad. Stop it. That said, the deck is extremely expensive because it requires at least 2, if not 3 ultra rares. Getting Dante for just 1,500 gems is really nice. Part of the reason that I haven't really made a whole lot of progress with Burning Abyss is because I only have 1 Dante, and that's more than I needed. I've spent way too much on this deck already. I'm not going to build it. I hate it. So, hard pass on the Burning Abyss. And there you go. Those are my thoughts on these pickup boxes. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. My name is Sarafi, and I'm thrilled to have you all with me.